Hey y'all, how's everybody been doing? I saw a couple people ask me to make some videos, so I thought, what a good night to do so. It's been a few minutes, and I've had my time preoccupied. It's been kind of hard to make some here and there, because, oh, hello, Mr. Baby. This is my second son, Owen, and he's hanging out with Dad in the shop tonight. He looks all scrunched up and weird. I think he's deep sleep. He likes it out here because it's warm. It's a very hot, humid day here in Illinois. It's almost 90 degrees, well over with heat index, and we are sweating. So anyway, I wanted to give you guys an update because I have been doing some work on the car, and sometimes I ramble on and videos take too long, and I'll try to make it into two parts tonight. So the first part, I'll show you guys what I've been doing on top of the motor. Okay, we got a little action here. At first glance, this is a 5.4 with a Sullivan, and I bet you can't see what we've done. Ha! Alright, I'll clue you in. So, my brother-in-law here this week, and we did some customization to the Sullivan intake. So, quick thing with the 5.4s, a lot of times I think people don't choose the option because there's not a lot of intake options because it's so expensive. Well, I've got a set of adapter plates that let you use a Coyote intake on the 5.4. I'm sure they're fine, it just wasn't for me. That's not what I wanted to go, so I found a deal on a Sullivan. Now, with a 5.4, if you've ever seen a Navigator, ever worked on one, you'll know they have that big, huge, honking crossover that goes from, let's see if I can point my light here. Okay. Kind of goes from here to here. It's a big cast aluminum piece, and I think on the passenger side there's a water port for the thermostat. Port where the thermostat sits in the upper, it connects to the upper radiator hose. Sullivan offers two intake styles, one with that cast into it, and then one with nothing. But I don't know what combination that you would have nothing there, so I may not be familiar, but we got C heads on this, and we need those water passages open. So, I think I had 2 or 3 beers before I even wanted to do it, but you can kind of see that we milled off, and this is not bolted down. See, it's just sitting there. I'm going to put a few studs in here to help align it. We milled off the front of the intake to expose those water ports. Alright, so I'm going to show you. Oh, here we go. These are the pieces that we cut off. And cutting up $1,000 intake is not that much fun. I don't know, it's $800 or so. Anyway, the goal is to use, like what you've seen probably with other modular stuff, and crossover ports like that. Right, so those just bolt down to the head and then give you a threaded NPT female on the top. I don't have it up on my computer right now. I think MMR has a so there's 5 versions, I'm sure, but these seem to be the most cost effective. I don't know, I have to look at the other ones again to see which would be the best for me, but that's the idea, is to use that style of connector. But the water ports, the coolant crossover ports, what you call them. So that was always fun. Hey, buddy. Cutting that up. Other things on top of the motor, I'm not sure if I showed this previously, but I've got my coils kind of mounted up. And you can see I had to get slightly creative. I don't think that'll matter whatsoever, but I'm sure they make some that make it look a little more uniform. And you could see I could even bring that bolt down a bit too. I mean, they do make modular coil mounts for Holley coils. And you can see you got this one mounted and had to steer clear of the power brake booster there. It's still not certain if I'm going to run power steering, but it's in here. We'll see. It's free. I don't want to digress, but let's just say the brakes and the power steering are interconnected. So if you want to go manual brakes, you also have to go manual steering. So power steering right now is free, whereas all of that is, I don't know, 1,000 to 1,500 bucks. You know, I'm sure you'll want a solid steering column and everything, but so I gotta decide. But we made some modifications, got this bracket to clear and work, and we'll make some spacers right here, right, so it'll lift up. But I was testing with my Holly coil wiring harness, and it'll clear just fine once it's lifted up just a touch. Won't take much. The modular, who makes them? I thought it was ICT was the brand, the same as the ports I just showed you. I think it's them. I think it's somebody else. Power Grid. Does that sound right? Either way, their coil brackets are like 200 bucks. That's crazy. It's just cut, you know, probably in a water jet brackets. Well, ICT makes these for the LS motor. I think I paid $25 for them, maybe 30. Had some coupon or something like that for like eBay for 10% off. You can probably get those in your email every once in a while. So yeah, that's pretty much the intake and all that. So what's next is I'll make another video on the fuel system in a minute, but got a few things there. Fuel injectors, and I need Sullivan fuel rails apparently. I had another set, like Aeromotives, just laying around. That's not even close. This is cast just for Sullivan rails, so we'll have to get us some of those. Alright, well, I'm going to plug these holes back up so nothing gets in there, and then I'll be back with you guys shortly on another video on my next little adventure with the car so far. Alright, see y'all in a little bit.